Yo guys, what is up? Today I come to you yet with another weekly review of Days, and we're at episode 16, and I have to say it was a very interesting episode from beginning to end. Like, it has me hyped up for this match between Seiseki and Seikan. So to start off with, the first half of the episode dealt with Ryoshin. Remember from last week's episode, that's who they were going against, and they were going against a school that their goalie was a national-wise renowned goalie, so their defense was very strong. But no matter how good their defense was, the fact that the coach told them to go out there like it was their last game and to give it their all, Seiseki has not dropped their defense and offense, and they were practically pushing Ryoshin against the fence. Like, no matter how good their goalie was, he was constantly on the defense. Anytime the ball was just left alone for even a second, Seiseki was the first one to capture that ball back into their grasp. And they made a metaphor that it felt like they were crashing waves, like it was just constant waves coming and slamming against them. And the reason why Seiseki was able to get like the free balls is because that Tsukamoto, knowing his position as a forward, and like a forward player in soccer has somewhat of an ego streak, right? And they always want the ball and be the ones who want to score the ball into the goal. But what Tsukamoto does is he casts that aside, his needs for the sake of the team. He sacrifices himself for the team. And they showed a flashback where it kind of connects to what they were saying, where Tsukamoto, all his life he grew up with his disabled mother, knowing his mother was in a wheelchair since he was a young age. And the fact that he had to be hyper aware of his surroundings because his mother was not capable. And there was even a moment where they showed in the flashback, like, Tsukamoto could not bring his mother up the stairs. He's a small child and he could not bring his mother up the stairs. And there was a man who was kind of rude, and he saw a woman and a child that were not able to budge, and instead of helping them, he was like I said, he was being rude. And Tsukamoto's mother is trying to console Tsukamoto, telling him, you always have to take in consideration of other people's feelings. No matter what the circumstance may be, you must be well aware of what is surrounding you, and that your kindness, even if others may think is a weakness, your kindness is your biggest strength. Even the coach admitted that he thought Tsukamoto's kindness was a weakness, but actually it was a vital key strength of his that allowed him to disregard himself in order to secure the victory for Seiseki. So by sacrificing his own wants, he has proven to be a vital key to the goals, to the succession for Seiseki to be able to win as many games as they can. Now, there were some parts in the episode where it was pretty messed up, especially for Kimishita. You kind of feel sorry for him in this episode. It's because they're going against Seikan, which this school has not lost a game since the start of this training camp. So it's a very strong school at a national level, and they're going to be facing off against Seiseki. This is their next opponent that they're going to be facing off against. So we have three characters that are going to be matching up with the three pillars in Seiseki. We have Himura, who is basically the same type of player as Kazama, the rookie of their team. They're both the rookies of their team, and they're very good. They capture the audience's gaze, and they turn the tides of the game. And then we have Tyra, who they said is on the individual skills, he is on the same level as Indo from Saku High. We also have Higuchi, who is also a center forward, and he's going to be basically pit up against Oshiba. So it's these six characters, 3 from Seiseki and 3 from Seikan, who's going to be pitted up against each other. You're going to hope to see like how these three will go, how these individuals will pit up against each other once this match starts. Like I said, the mess up thing about Kimishita was when Mizuki was looking to find the restroom. He found Tyra, and he looks like the type of guy that probably woos a lot of females, because there was like a kissing scene, him kissing some girl who possibly may like him. But aside from that, they were talking with each other, the two captains of two separate teams. And Tyra does respect Mizuki's skill set, but he also tells him that, if he feels that Kimishita is holding him back, because with Kimishita's passes, Mizuki's only able to use about 60% of his actual strength, his actual potential. And that he felt like, them being third years, and when they graduate, they may go on to national level Japanese soccer, the national level possibly, where they can also play against in like the, FIFA and all of that stuff if they're good enough. So if their skills can, how good they are now, and they get scouted, they can be on the national Japanese soccer team. And he felt like that if he and Mizuki were to pair up, he could bring out like 120% of Mizuki's skill. And he was basically trashing on Kimishita, saying that he's no good. And, Kimishita is hearing all of this. And to the point where Mizuki is like, when Tyra made that statement, he's like, I guess so. And Kimishita hears this and he storms off. Now, we see this in multiple stories where, the person comes in and hears something about them, and potentially there's something that they don't like that's being said, and then they storm off, and there's always something more to the story. So hopefully by the next episode, we get to see a little flashback where Mizuki, hopefully redeems himself in that episode, explain that, Kimishita is not a bad player, and that, with him on the team, he brings out, the highest potential, and he brings out the best in Seiseki, and he wouldn't have any other way. If they don't do that, then that may leave a bad taste in a lot of our mouths, because a lot of us do like Mizuki's character, and he may plunge down in one of your favorite characters in the list. So it comes down where the game is about to start. Everybody's, doing, the handshake and having a good game. But by the end of the episode, we see this woman that's outside of the fence, viewing the game from the outside. And we see where Kazama is looking at her. And my guess is it's the same woman that showed, I believe, in the flashback, or the memories from Kazama from, I believe, episode 6, 7, or 8. One of those episodes. And it's the same lady that when Kazama was having a memory, it was dark and they were by an ocean, and she was walking away with a little child. And I did make the assumption that possibly that may be his mother. And I think that is his mother by the end of the episode. They do have to clarify that by next episode, if that is his mother, or possibly an important female figure that was in his life. And possibly they will explain the relationship between these two and why Kazama acted the way he did by the end of this episode. But overall, this was a pretty hyped up episode. It was such a build up, especially a good character build up for Tsukamoto in this episode. He showed like really good skills in this episode. Like he's kicking the balls out of play, he's landing, he's giving the passes, and you can see that his skill set is growing. So he's becoming a better player little by little. So hopefully they clarify a lot of things in the next episode with Kimishita and Kazama, and how these characters will pit up against each other, because this is going to be one hype game against these two. And hopefully if they do win against Seikan, there is a better looking future for them, especially if they plan to go up against Saku High once again. So if you saw this week's episode of Days, do drop in the comment section below on how you felt about this episode, and what are your predictions for the next episode to come. The links, as always, are in the description box, so you guys go check that out. And I'm Kimishita of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye!